We have finally made it, the last video of the series for the Shoretroopers. We have gone over all kinds of different techniques, and now we're going to put the final details on. Let's check it out.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Before we get started on today's video, I wanted to do a quick shout out. I'm going to be doing a giveaway for the first time on my channel. I'm going to be giving away Star Wars Legion B1 Battle Droids. Brand new box. Here it is. In order to win this, you need to like the video and subscribe, and please leave a comment as the third thing as to why you would want this in your army. And I'm going to be going through the comments and picking at random, and I'm going to send this to you guys. And you have 7 days from the day this was posted.
So 7 days to this very hour? My watch broke. How am I going to know the exact hour?
Forget hours. This day, 7 days from now.
So where we left off was we just got done doing the wash and letting that dry. So now it's time to start doing those details, which includes highlighting and different types of touch-ups, and of course putting on final terrain pieces as far as the basing concerns. So let's get to that now. We are now going back over the model after washing and applying another coat of the Xandri dust, that tan color. It does look brighter as we apply it to the knees, but we're going to start off highlighting the model, and I'm going to be doing that general base color. We also apply it to the shoulder straps of the model and other locations, as you'll see here. I carefully apply it to the face mask, making sure not to get it into the eye sockets, and just along the elongation of the nose of the mask on either side. I will also be applying it to the belt, just to the top area here in just a moment, and we will then move on to the helmet, the top of the helmet. You want to make sure and get a nice glare or light effect on the top of the helmet and on the back of the model as well. Make sure to apply it to his wrists and his gauntlets. Try not to get it into the black color on the gloves that are in between the wrist area. As we put the highlight on the top of the helmet, I'm going to make sure and cover a large portion of it, as this is the base color, and we're going to be going lighter and lighter each time we apply the next highlight. Don't forget to highlight the right shoulder pad and the right wrist gauntlet as well, wherever you feel like the light should be touching. And we're about ready to wrap up this first coat of the general base color of the Xandri dust. And we'll be moving on to making it lighter and doing the next step of the highlights. As we take a look at the model, this is the finished first base coat of the highlights. Let's now go ahead and mix up our Xandri dust. I went ahead and added some white to this already and got it a little lighter. So we're going to go ahead and do this again. So add your white and the Xandri dust to your wet palette and then slowly mix in some color. We don't want to go too light too quickly. We want it to be more gradual. So just be aware of your colors and play around with it. All right, we're going to go back over the same areas again. I'm going to be doing the wrist gauntlet here. We're not going to cover as much area this time. We're going to keep getting smaller and smaller until we just have the edge line. Applying it to just a couple spots on the top of the belt. Applying it to the kneecaps again, maybe just more on the left side of this particular model as it's more in sunlight than the right leg. And also don't forget about the top of the backpack again. As we start to work on the right shoulder pad, we don't want to cover the entire area of what we did last time. Again, we're going to keep making the area smaller. As you can see, the highlight really makes the model pop really quickly, so you have to be careful on this placement. We are now making sure and applying to the helmet area as well. At this point, we're just going back over any other areas as I've lightened the color one more time, and we're just adding a dab in the very brightest spots. This model is now complete, and we will move on to the time lapse. And now we'll be using our green and white paint to add our highlights in those base colors. Went ahead and put it on our wet palette already. And now we'll begin adding these. We are now going to be applying this to the shoulder piece. Make sure to not cover up the entire dark green from the wash from earlier. We're just going to be doing the same type of thing as we did with the tan, but this time with the green color. I'm also going to be applying it to a couple places on the chest piece there, not too much, as I don't want to ruin the details of the wash. Now applying it to the back of the model here, just going over the edge highlights a little bit with the green. After the first set of green highlights, this is what the model looks like. Now I'm taking some of the green and some of the white and mixing it up. Again, let's not have too drastic of a jump in the lightness of the green. So maybe you want to add some more in there. And we're just about ready to add this. Again, try not to get the entire shoulder pad. We're going to keep doing less and less. But I want to go down the entire shoulder pad to about the bicep region, because that lightness is going to hit down there as well. Don't forget to add just a couple lines to the chest piece. Also adding the highlights to the back of the model, going lighter and lighter on the edges and some of the wrinkles in the clothing. This finishes the second green highlights, and we'll be moving on to another lighter color. So go ahead and take some white and add it to that lighter green color, and let's make it even brighter. Again, nice and slow accumulation. This time we're just going to apply a smaller line on the crest of that shoulder pad and add it to the wrist gauntlet as well, where the green is, and just a little bit to the chest piece if you'd like, just kind of where you think the light hits best. And again, adding it to the back of the model, just on the very edges for this highlight, since this is one of our last green highlights. Let's go take a look at this model now. It's looking pretty good. We have now the tan and the green completed. We're going to go ahead and do this to the rest of the models in their respective colors. We'll be now using our purple color, our red color, and our yellow color for the bicep shoulder pads on the right hand side of the model. We're just going to be adding that base color, getting it a little brighter after the wash, and it's just that one area. We'll be using our white and our black to do one of the hardest parts of the model. This is going to be adding that line, which is white encompassed by two black lines. So the best way to do this is start with your brush and pull towards your body in a nice straight line. And just be very light. Don't press too hard with your brush, as you don't want it to fan out. When adding the black lines to either side of the white line, make sure and just keep pulling towards your body. And I like to start on the edge of the shoulder pad and then do the other black line next. If you get the black into the white, that's okay, because we'll be going back over one last time with a nice white line down the center. As I make sure and get some of the paint off on my thumbnail before I start adding the white line between our two other ones, just keep pulling towards your body until you're satisfied with those straight lines. It takes some practice, but if you keep doing it, you can hang in there and get it done. Alright, this is what it looks like after we're finished. I was pretty satisfied with it. Let's get on to the other models. Alright, we're now going to be adding a red dot on the right side of the helmet. And we're also going to be applying a black to the very top of the helmet, right above the eyes. That indentation sticking out needs to be black. So that's what we're doing here. If you get some on the tan color, you can go back over it, no big deal. Let's move on to dry brushing. Dip it in your white color, dry it off as much as possible on a paper towel until there's no longer streaks left when you do it on your mat. We're applying this to the weapons and to the base of the model. Model is looking pretty good. Let's move on to the rest. Just make sure and get as much paint off the brush before you start dry brushing, as you don't want to ruin your hard work. Let's take our black color and start to paint the rim of the base. Since it's been primed in a black color, I don't see it necessary to do more than one layer. After finishing with the base, we'll now be using Minotaur varnish to spray our models. Make sure and keep that nice 6 to 8 inches away, You don't need much here. Just going to get the tops of them, and we'll do all 3 units. After your models have been set to dry, we'll be using this terrain green grass and our super glue. The reason why I'm applying this after varnishing is that I found that if you varnish with these items on before, these pre-made items, that they might get a light brushing and make the green grass a little brighter. And I wanted that nice darker, vibrant green based on that Rogue One planet. Now these tufts of grass already have a sticky residue on the bottom, but I feel like they aren't well enough equipped to hold on to long-lasting play, so I just put a dab of super glue on them, and then I go ahead and press it down on the model. This is what the model looks like now after it's all completed. We will now add the rest of the tufts of grass to the entire army. In addition to painting the Shoretroopers, I also painted up General Veers and a desert urban dwelling I purchased from Imperial Terrain, as I wanted to have the same theme for all the models. After applying this grass, the models are now complete. Let's go look at these up close. I hope you guys look forward to the giveaway again this week, which is the B1 battle droids. If you guys missed that, it's in the front of the video. Again, just like, comment on this video, and subscribe, and I'll go through and pick out the winner. I will see you on the next video. Thank you.